Soccer 605, we're here with Lauren Parliament, a grade 6 referee from here in Sioux Falls. Lauren, thanks for visiting with us today at Soccer 605.
Thank you.
We had the opportunity to be together at the National ODP Championships. You were reffing there at that event. Tell us a little bit about that experience and how you were selected for that.
I was selected from regionals last year. I went down to regionals in Michigan, and Jonathan Mearsman, our region director, they had a team that they chose 4 referees from our Region 2 to go down to ODP Nationals in February of this year from last summer. And the experience was just really cool. It was a small group, and we got to get to know each other really well, and we worked with a crew for a few games. And then the next day we got a new crew, and it was just a really neat experience to be at that level and see the play that we got to see from some of the larger states that I've never seen before.
So did you have the opportunity to center any matches in the National ODP Championships?
Yeah, I had the semifinal for the U17 girls.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
So how do you go from being a referee in South Dakota to being a referee at a national championship?
Just being dedicated and having some hard work, but also enjoying it and having fun and meeting people along the way. Don't be afraid to go to a tournament out of your state, because then you get noticed by more people.
So how did you start in your refereeing career? How old were you? And
I was 12.
Okay.
I started in 1998, and I did it for money then to play soccer, because they had a deal that if you reffed, you could get your club membership paid for. So
wow.
That's what I did. And
that's a great way to do it. I wonder if clubs are still doing that.
I don't know.
That sounds like a great way to get more referees involved.
Yeah.
Well, and you also have been at regionals, correct?
Yep.
And you'll be going again next week to the regional championships?
Yeah, I'm super excited about it.
So what are some of the other events that you've gone and reffed at?
I've gone to DASC Cup down in Texas twice.
Oh, that's a prestigious tournament.
Yeah, it's a really neat tournament too, to meet refs from all over the world and get to work with some FIFA refs and national refs. And
you said you've done that twice?
Yeah, yep. And I've also gone up to Minneapolis for their men's league tournament at the end of their season. I've gone up there twice, and then other tournaments in Minneapolis area. And then I've gone down to Des Moines for some of their stuff.
Now, as a grade 6 referee, that's also the state referee designation.
Yes. Yep.
Are you able to also referee college games then?
Yes, I do a lot of college games in our area. I do the D1, D2, and GPAC, which is NAIA. So I do all of those.
Center and AR?
I don't center D1 yet, but I center all the other ones, D2, NAIA. Do a bunch of them. So.
Wow. So what's the next step? And you start off, for those that aren't referees, we have the grade 8, basically, is the entry level, pretty much the AR, right?
Yep.
Grade 7, center ref, and that's probably most refs in the state are grade 7s or 8s.
Yeah, a lot of 8s and some 7s.
So what did you have to go through? I know Connor Shuck, we just recently did a story with Connor Shuck, who just got his grade 6 not too long ago. What was the process like for you when you went from grade 7 to grade 6? I actually went up to Minneapolis. For me, I did one center on our 19 boys game in South Dakota at State High School. And then the next summer I went up to Minneapolis and did their men's league for my upgrade. And you have to be assessed for that?
Yep, you have to do 1 line and 2 centers.
Okay.
So you have to pass them, and usually you do a developmental to see if you're ready, and then you start your assessments after that, because you don't want to start and then not be ready.
Do you have to have a certain number of matches that you've reffed in before you can be considered for that upgrade?
You have to be in your grade a year, so usually. Sometimes they fast track, but that doesn't happen very often. And then the game count is for your career. You have to have so many middles and so many ARs. So
you've been reffing here at the Prairie Hills Invitational, which is an adult co-ed tournament, and you have both men and women out there. You've been centering, and we've had several all-female crews. It's been really nice to see. But what is the difference when you're reffing a girls' match compared to a boys' match?
For me as a referee, I have to be more stern with guys to get respect within the first 5 to 10 minutes, and if you don't do it, your game will go downhill. But that's the biggest thing, is getting respect and using your appearance and your whistle to gain that respect in a guy's game. And girls' games, when I'm a girl, when I'm walking up, they usually are like, oh, we have a girl, and kind of are excited about it. And they also, a girls' game, they do a lot more sly fouls than guys' games. They do more of like the pinching and behind the back stuff, like that you can't see, so you have to be in a better position to see it.
The guys want to make sure you see it when they do their fouls, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
They aren't as sly about it as girls. So.
Oh, that's interesting. I thought there might be a few differences.
Yeah.
And I suppose in a co-ed game you have to have all of your radar up.
Yeah, because some guys they'll go in just as hard on a girl, and then they'll take them out, and then they'll be like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. So, but it depends.
It's still soccer, whether you're male or female.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you a little bit about nationally the number of female referees. Do you have any idea what percentage of referees are female?
I'm not sure, very small. I know at regionals I can give you that. There's 32 female refs and for our region, and there are 220 refs that'll be there.
So about 15% of the refs, less than, are female.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that when it comes to the games that there's as many females playing as males. So what can we do to get more girls and women involved in reffing soccer? Encourage
them. And I know a ton of girls tend to quit because they get yelled at, and to encourage them that it doesn't happen all the time, and to know that they are equal and that they can be a referee.
Well, sometimes you have to just let that run off your back like a duck and ignore that when people do yell at you. It seems to me, with only 15% of the referees being female at regionals, that there are a lot of opportunities for females in the referee field. I would think they'd be looking a lot more for female referees and giving women referees more opportunities.
They do, but they also, you have to earn it like the guys. So they're not just going to be like, oh, there's a female, we're going to put them on a hard game.
Oh, yeah.
But they do enjoy it. Once they find you and see that you're confident, you'll do wonders, because there isn't a lot of confident female refs. So
yeah, the confidence is a big part of it. You're saying confident, not just competent. Right?
Yeah, confident.
So you go to regionals next weekend, and then what other events do you have lined up for the rest of the summer for reffing at?
Well, I'm going to go out to USERRA Cup, unless I get chosen for nationals, which I'm hoping. And then I am going up to Minneapolis again for their men's league tournament at the beginning of August. They have 2 weekends of it because their men's league is quite large.
And where's that, Minneapolis?
Yeah.
Well, that'd be a fun one too. Well, talking about nationals, going from regionals to nationals, what's the process? Who does the evaluation? And I assume that there's a certain number they look for from Region 2 to go to nationals.
Yep.
And Jonathan Mearsman and others will be doing assessing, or how is that going to work?
Yep. They have a team of, I want to say 40 or more assessors. Maybe even 50, assessor or mentor. So they might not be an official assessor, but they're a high ref from our region that comes back and wants support into refs to develop them. So they'll be called a mentor, but they're equal in their assessing. And then they have a team that every game is assessed, and whatever they see on that game, if you're doing well, you might get moved up, you might stay where you're at, which is not a bad thing. And if they look like you're struggling, they may put you down the next day to see if you're still confident, and then maybe put you back up. But all those assessments go into a pool, and he has a team. I'm not sure how many are on the team, but I know that they have a team that chooses their panel for nationals from what they see that week. And they choose so many state referees that go as a referee, and then grade 7s can go as an AR.
Okay.
So
a grade 7 can still go to nationals then?
But as an AR only.
Yeah.
Yep. And sometimes they put a 6 as an AR because they're not confident in the middle. So they might say you're going to be as an AR this year.
Okay.
But yeah, so they do it on the week's performance and what they see. And you come in, if you've been there before, they'll put you where they know they want you. And if you haven't been there, they'll try to test you, and maybe you'll find out later in the week where you land. But
well, refereeing has become a second career for you, it seems. When did you know that you wanted to continue and to develop that second career, and what were some of the factors that helped you decide?
I think in the last year and a half, when I went to regionals in Wisconsin 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago now. And I just was going as a kind of a fly on the wall. I hadn't really, yeah. And I was there as a 7, and they looked at me a lot to go to nationals that year, and I didn't even know what that meant really.
Oh wow.
But they saw when I did my middle the last day, they really liked me in the middle, and sometimes they just wait and want to see you in the next couple years. And when they told me things there that I heard, and then I came back to my state and got my upgrade after that. I went to Minneapolis the end of that summer. And met Paula Hildman, the SRA, the head of reffing there. She's done WPSA, and she just said, Lauren, I see so much potential in you, and you could be on that level in a few years if you want to, if you choose to. So then I went back and processed until the next regionals this last summer, and had a ton of fun, and just the last like a year ago, and they just really enjoyed the stuff I learned that I can work on, but also the stuff that I became more confident in myself. So.
And that really is a neat experience at regionals, to be with refs from all over the region, and the best of the best. Well, it's just as it is with the teams, the best of the state teams are there, the best of our state referees are there.
The speed of play is way faster, and it's
fun.
So much fun because you can actually know where they're going and predict, because you're not like, where are they going to go now? Because they don't know exactly where they're going to go yet.
It is a little easier to ref a game where the players have a little more skill, isn't it? Well, thanks a lot, Lauren. Hopefully we've given some folks out there some ideas on the opportunities in the referee world, and you can be a player as you were and ref at the same time and help pay for your soccer addiction and move forward with that. So, well, thanks a lot. Best of luck at regionals next week, and we'll see you probably in the championship game later today.
Yes, thank you.
This is Soccer 605 with Lauren Parliament signing off.